Hello, hello, everybody. It's a fine day, is it not? Oh, man, we got some good news. It's a celebration, bitches. Oh, man, I should have put on my Unity ring. I forgot to put on my bling, man. I'll have to, Mona will have to give me a pass on that one, right? How are you guys doing? Give me the roll call. First order of business. Roll call. Where are you? I want to see you in the comments sounding off. I want you to tell me that you are present, all and accounted for. Oh, shit. I haven't been this excited for a live stream in a while, man. I'm just kidding. I'm always excited, but to deliver the news, let us say. To deliver the news, let us say. So I'm gonna let the people know that we are live and ready to go. By the way, I've never told you guys to follow me on other platforms except Rockfin. So if you want to, on Instagram and Facebook, you know the thing. Just look me up, man. Whatever. I don't need to tell you. I want to see the roll call. I want to see everyone present. I want to see everybody present before we get into the before we get into it, right? All right. So. It's good to see you guys. We got 100, almost 200 people watching. I want to be sure that those likes reflect the number of people watching. Okay, so we got 180 people watching. I want to see 180 likes right now. Awesome, and I'm seeing all of you in the comments. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's good to see you guys are equally excited. So shall we get to it then? Are you ready? Are you ready? I think we should get to it. I think we should get to it. Yes, I know. Okay. So Neera Tanden. She's done, man. The White House withdrew her nomination. They withdrew her nomination to head the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget. Oh my God, man. You'll allow me a moment to collect myself, yes? I think I'd like to savor this moment. I'd like to savor it just a little bit. Oh, look, we got flashing lights. Goodbye, Neera! Goodbye! It was so nice. But you tried, and you tried. Goodbye! Ma'asalame. It's a celebration. And with that said, I think this warrants a crab dance. This warrants a crab dance. I think we should celebrate.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Hey, why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Goodbye, bitch. Goodbye. Oh, it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling. You know, Gaddafi has really taken names this week. First, we see Sarkozy, the former French president Nicolas Sarkozy. He gets convicted for corruption after, Gaddafi gave him 50 million for his presidential campaign in 2007. And now Neera Tanden wanted to go and steal Libyan oil. Gets her nomination withdrawn. The ghost of Gaddafi has taken names this week, man. Anyway, so let's get down to I think we can collect ourselves a little here. So I want to show you how this went down. Basically, this was first. Oh shit! Look, I can do the whole gamer thing. Do you remember when we covered the presidential election? Yes, election night rather. I can do the whole mini me over here, I think. Yeah, look at this. Hi. Let's go on Twitch, man. Let's go stream on Twitch instead of actually passing legislation, right? Let's just act like Congress people. Yes, Queen. So, okay, let's see how this went down. So first of all, this was reported by the Washington Post, okay? They reported that Neera's nomination was done for, and then we had a statement by the White House, an official statement, okay? So just so you know, this was the Washington Post article, okay? I hate that gamer thing. Let me remove myself out of the corner. This is not appropriate. There we go. So after that, we had the statement from the White House, which I'll read to you now, okay? So this is from Joe Biden. I have accepted Neera Tanden's request to withdraw her name from nomination for Director of the Office of Management and Budget. I have the utmost respect for her record of accomplishment, her experience, and her counsel, and I look forward to having her serve in a role in my administration. Pay attention to that. We'll get back to that. She will bring valuable perspective and insight to our work. I can't even read it with a straight face. It's just so hilarious, right? So underneath we have a letter from Neera Tanden, right? So pay attention to how they're reporting this, because they're not saying she had her nomination withdrawn by the White House, which is what happened. They're saying, no, Neera Tanden recused herself. She withdrew the nomination herself. Okay, let's read it. So this is the alleged letter. Dear President Biden, I am writing to you to withdraw my nomination for Director of the Office of Management and Budget. It has been an honor of a lifetime to be considered for this role and for the faith placed in me. I appreciate how hard you and your team at the White House has worked to win my confirmation. Unfortunately, it now seems clear that there is no path forward to gain confirmation, and I do not want continued consideration of my nomination to be a distraction from your other priorities. How generous of you, Neera. That's awfully generous of you. Yes? Good, madam. I am incredibly grateful for your leadership on behalf of the American people and for your agenda that will make such a transformative difference in people's lives. Yeah, okay. So essentially, Neera Tanden is so generous, and she's thinking of you guys so much that she decided to withdraw her nomination, right? After all, who would want to waste so many resources on one confirmation, right? That would be foolish, right? If you just voted for someone to take the highest office in the land, arguably in the world, and they started burning up and using a lot of their resources, this message of, oh, we're going to bring back dignity to the White House, and just wasting all of their political capital on one confirmation. I mean, you would think these people are malicious and nefarious, if not extremely incompetent, right? Well, that's exactly what's been happening, right? We talked about this yesterday, how basically Joe Biden and his team and his cabinet were doing more to fight for Neera Tanden's confirmation than they were for the $15 minimum wage. And I don't need to tell you which one of those was a campaign promise, right? So, yesterday I showed you Ron Klain, who's the White House chief of staff. He was talking to Joy Reid on MSNBC. And you remember what he said? He said, we're going to fight our guts out to get Neera Tanden confirmed because she's missing a couple of votes to get over the finish line, right? So let me just play that clip for you again.
But Neera Tanden would be a superb budget director. She'd be one of the most outstanding budget directors we've had. She knows policy. She knows all the how to get something done in Washington. She's a great candidate for the job, and certainly we're fighting our guts out to get her confirmed.
And I mean, Republicans don't care about that. I think let's just stipulate to that, right? They care about winning these sort of fights that are more about messaging for their side. And so targeting these, women, people of color, it's on message for them. Would Joe Biden be willing to make Neera Tanden acting OMB director if they continue to fight? And if Joe Manchin can?
Oh yeah, of course. It's all about people of color, right? Not that Neera Tanden is a corrupt swamp creature. It's just about Republicans being racists, right? You're just gonna like ignore everything that's wrong about her, right? It's just a racist thing. Okay, right. We'll get back to that in a second. Pay attention to the next phrase, because she's asking him now, can Neera Tanden be made acting director of the OMB? Okay, pay attention to Ron Klain's answer.
Continues to stand in the way.
Well, Joy, we can't make someone acting director of an agency who has not been Senate confirmed. That's the law. We can't make them acting director of an agency unless they are a career official who's been there 90 days or more. So if Neera Tanden is not confirmed, she will not become the budget director. We will find some other place for her to serve in the administration that doesn't require Senate confirmation. But let me be clear, we're going to get Neera Tanden confirmed. That's what we're working for. And
oh, great. So you're seeing already they're trying to lube you up. They're trying to get you ready for potentially having her in another position where she doesn't need confirmation, right? One of you messaged me earlier on Patreon and said like we should try to get her confirmed as or get her the ambassadorship to Libya. No, actually, if to become an ambassador, you need to be confirmed by the Senate as well. So I don't know if they would allow her that. Probably, you know, since she's done such an amazing job at destroying Libya or being part of the camp that destroyed Libya and advocating for that war that is still ongoing. Yeah, she might get it, actually. She just might, right? She seems very qualified for that. So you know, we're going to celebrate this win, but be careful because you might see her again. You're going to see her around. You need to understand something here, man. Neera Tanden, this also just to debunk further this argument that she withdrew the nomination because of her benevolence and her generosity, and not that it wasn't the White House who did it. Neera Tanden is a swamp creature of Washington, D.C. Okay, these people spend their entire lives climbing up the ladder, you know, climbing up people's assholes so they can get to where she is now. Well, not right now. Let's say yesterday. But you understand? Neera Tanden's entire career has been going towards this. And you saw this, ironically, because of her tweets, right? So we're hearing, oh, she can't be confirmed. A lot of people in the Senate, especially Republicans, they don't like her tweets, her mean tweets. And you remember she deleted about 1,000 of them. Just before being named the, just before Joe Biden decided to nominate her. Okay, but what were those tweets saying? What was she doing most of the time? She was being Hillary Clinton's lapdog, wasn't she? You know, and okay, I mean, she's just an all-around terrible person. We'll get into all her other qualifications. Yes, we're not going to celebrate this without the full one. But she was spending her entire career attacking anyone who stood in the way of her getting a job like this. And you saw that in 2016 with Hillary Clinton against Bernie Sanders, right? Why was she so vicious to Bernie Sanders? Because she knows that Bernie Sanders is not going to give her a job in his administration. Hillary Clinton will. You understand? That's why now again with Joe Biden, she knew Joe Biden's going to give me a job in his administration. So I'm going to crap all over Trump. I'm going to crap all over everyone else. I'm just going to go with whoever's the Democratic nominee. Right, because at the end of the day, whether it's Clinton or Biden, it doesn't matter. It's just another mask on at the front of the vehicle. So she knows that whoever gets in charge, you know, whoever gets in office, whoever's in charge, it will give her a job, will give her something of a cabinet position, like the head of the OMB. Okay, so she's been trying her whole life to get to this point, and you really think that she withdrew the fucking nomination? I mean, you're really naive if you actually believe that. It's not just specific to Neera Tanden. I mean, it just in general, usually when people get fired, they don't, you know, you're told to tender your resignation, right? That's how it comes down from high up. Now, that doesn't change the fact. You know, Joe Biden telling Neera Tanden to withdraw her nomination doesn't change the fact that they did spend more capital. They did waste more energy and resources on her than they are for the $15 minimum wage. That's still true. That's still true, right? I mean, they never were going to spend that much capital on it to begin with. We all know that. But nonetheless, you know, even for appearance's sake, they don't care. They don't give a crap. And, you know, someone at the White House, once in a while, you actually get a good question in the press briefing room. They asked Jem Psaki, the spokesperson for the White House, what's up with that? Why are you wasting more time on Neera Tanden than the $15 minimum wage? Let's take a look at the answer. which you already know.
He respects that decision, but progressives don't understand this. In some respect, they're like, why not fight for this? So why is the White House not more aggressively challenging that and sending the vice president to try and potentially overrule that with the vote?
Well, the decision for the vice president to vote to overrule or to take a step to overrule is not a simple decision. It would also require 50 votes. As you know, it's not a one-step decision. And the president and the vice president both respect the history of the Senate. They are both formally served in the Senate, and that's not an action we intend to take. But the president is committed to raising the minimum wage, to working to determine the best vehicle forward to doing that. That's why he put it in the package. He wants it to be raised to $15 an hour, and he will be in touch with leaders from all wings of the party in determining the best path forward for that. Go ahead, Jeff.
A follow-up to Jeff's question, which strikes me. The White House doesn't have...
I'm sorry, I think the video got stuck for a second, but you can still hear the audio. I'll let it keep playing, right?
50 votes to confirm Neera Tanden as OMB director, and yet we heard from the White House Chief of Staff say that the White House is they're going to fight their guts out. Fight our guts out was the phrase he used to get her confirmed. So why push for that and not push as hard, one could say, for raising the minimum wage? You could make the argument that the American people stand to benefit more from a higher wage than they would from a chosen OMB director.
You think?
Well, I think that's mixing a few things kind of irresponsibly, if I'm just being totally honest. I would say on the minimum wage, the president...
Dude, can you see how pissed she is that he's asking her this question? Look how annoyed she is.
The White House doesn't have 50 votes to confirm Neera Tanden as OMB director, and yet we heard from the White House Chief of Staff say that the White House is they're going to fight their guts out. Fight our guts out.
Notice how scared he is asking the question. I mean, look, again, respect for asking it, but it's like, you know, one could say that, you know, I suppose this is kind of like a dumb thing. No, just ask it, man. They're public servants, you know. I thought you have a free press. I thought you're such a benevolent liberal democracy. What's going on here? Why are you scared? No, I'm just busting his chops. I'm glad he asked it. At least someone did, right? At least someone in that fucking room did. So let's listen.
Phrase he used to get her confirmed. So why push for that and not push as hard, one could say, for raising the minimum wage? You could make the argument that the American people
She's so annoyed.
benefit more from a higher wage than they would from a chosen OMB director.
Yep.
Well, I think that's mixing a few things kind of irresponsibly, if I'm just being totally honest. I would say on the minimum wage, the president included a raise of the minimum wage in his package because he felt strongly that it's long overdue, that men and women working hard, trying to make ends meet, shouldn't be living at the poverty level. That's why he put it in his package. There is a process that it goes through, a parliamentary process, when it's a reconciliation bill, as you know, but for people who haven't been following all the nitty-gritty of this, because it's a budgetary bill. That's why it went through the process. And, you know, again, I would send you to talk to leaders in Congress to see if they have the 50 votes necessary, but regardless, the president, the vice president have made the decision they're not going to move forward with that step, but also it's not a simple process. It requires 2 steps. As it relates to Neera Tanden, she is somebody who has decades of experience. She is qualified. She is prepared to lead the budget team. And we're continue, of course, to fight for the confirmation of every nominee that the president puts forward. We'll see if we have 50 votes. That's part of the journey. That's part of democracy in action.
So blah, 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 a bunch of hot air. That's what that is, right? Politicians are so good. They're so good at their games, aren't they? After all, that's why she's the White House spokesperson. You know, it's so good to just repeat what we already know. She still didn't explain why they're spending more energy on her than the $15 minimum wage. But we all know why. We all know why. You know, it's better to get another crony into the cabinet than to actually give the peasants some crumbs, right? That's not really on the agenda. That was just to lie to you to get your vote. And I remind you once again that you don't actually have to listen to the Senate parliamentarian. She says, Jem Sackett says, oh, you know, there's a parliamentarian process and all of this. And okay, that's, yeah, great. Guess what? The Senate parliamentarian is issuing a non-binding, a non-legal advisory opinion. You don't have to listen to them. We went through this yesterday, right? We went through this in the video specifically about the minimum wage. And then she says that, well, you know, Neera Tanden is very experienced. Yeah, no one asked you to list off her fucking qualifications, asshole. We said, why are you spending more resources on this corrupt swamp creature than your goddamn campaign promise? Oh, but you know, Joe Biden is committed to... Oh my God. I can't stand them. You have to consider, I listen to this shit all day. So, you know, I also have my limits. No, but it's just absurd. And, you know, it's really astonishing how they actually tried to lobby... Murkowski is her name, I believe, the one from Alaska. God, I'm just remembering Palin now. But, you know, they tried to lobby... they tried to lobby a Republican senator to get missing votes back because, you know, Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat from West Virginia, he doesn't want to vote for Neera Tanden, right? That's when it started. And they're like, oh my God, her nomination is imperiled. So what did they do? They tried looking for votes elsewhere, okay? You'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me show you over here. Okay, I think you can see that now. So Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska was seen as a potential swing vote and met with Tanden on Monday afternoon, okay, to discuss her nomination. Murkowski told CNN shortly before the nomination was pulled that she still had not made a decision on Tanden. Now, if you go and look, I remember Glenn Greenwald posted this, but I think it was Crystal Ball, actually. She's the one who posted it. And it was just to paint the contrast between the efforts that they're trying to undertake, right? So you can see where their lobbying priorities are. Okay, take a look. So over here, this is from Manu Raju. He says, what Murkowski might be talking about with Schumer and the White House, because they also lobbied on Tanden's behalf, as she holds out on Tanden, quote, I know that Senator Murkowski feels like Alaska was targeted by the administration in some of the executive orders. For example, the drilling on public lands and the cancellation of ANWR, Cornyn says. So do you know what they're doing here? They're trying to appease her to get her to change her mind, right? Like, you know, don't worry about the drilling. We'll take care of that. Just maybe get the vote in for Neera. That's what counts. And then on the flip side, look what David Schuster says. Manchin ally says Senator has received no pressure. This is Joe Manchin. He's received no pressure or lobbying from the White House to vote for the COVID-19 bill with the minimum wage attached. Good for Joe Manchin. Malfeasance at the White House. No calls, horse trading, or effort to find out what would get Manchin on board. Good grief beyond absurd. So do you see how it's not just... Do you see how they're making no effort? No effort, none, to even get Joe Manchin on board for the $15 minimum wage, but they're more than happy to send fucking Chuck Schumer, right, the Senate Majority Leader now. They're making calls from the White House. Neera Tanden herself goes over and tries to lobby on her own behalf, right? They're all endeavoring to get her confirmation sealed, but when it comes to the minimum wage, they're not doing shit. Extraordinary. This guy's in their own party, by the way, right? He's in their own party, Manchin. It's not like oh my God, they have to go and convince a Republican, although they're all the same at the end of the day, right? Let's not kid ourselves. But, you know, there's still a little bit of formality with the fact that he's in your own party. You should have some more leverage over him because he's in your own party. Now, of course, he can defy the whip. He can defy you and still choose not to support it, right? That's what people with a backbone usually do. Although in this case, I mean, Joe Manchin is not exactly an exemplary person, right? But he is right on Neera Tanden at the very least. Although I would still argue it's not about the tweets. She's far more corrupt. It's beyond that. But you know, I just want to highlight to you again how they're doing nothing for the $15 minimum wage. They're lying when they're being asked about it at the press conference, as you just saw with Psaki. And then they're like, okay, well, you know what? We're just going to give up now. And you know, they'll probably try to spin this like. You see, we couldn't get Neera Tanden through. We can't get the $15 minimum wage through, even though we didn't try at all, but you're not supposed to know that. And, you know, it's like we can't do anything. Look, Joe Biden, his hands are tied. Oh, my God, it's such a shame, right? Just up until last month, or let's say 2 months ago, okay? Apparently being in the Oval Office was so fucking dangerous, right? If you held the office of the presidency, you could wield so much power that putting the wrong person in there, like Donald Trump, it could wreak havoc. It's dangerous to have someone like Donald Trump in there, right? You have exorbitant amounts of power handed to you. And now that Joe Biden's in there, oh my God, my hands are tied. I can't do anything. Oh no. Oh, what a shame. Oh, the Senate parliamentarian's in the way. I got this one rogue senator who just won't listen. You know, I better not call him. I better not actually like move my ass or do anything. Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that, even though that was a campaign promise. And it's still crumbs. It shouldn't be $15. It should be $22, $25. And even then, you're still being exploited. You don't have your healthcare is tied to your job. I mean, it's a scam. It's a scam economy. And so, you know, he's not even doing the bare minimum of the bare minimum. He's not even pretending to lobby for the $15 minimum wage. Well done. So this is amazing, right? And of course, when it comes to Neera, I mean, they're saying they might replace her with Shalanda Young. So I talked about her yesterday briefly. She had her confirmation hearing because she was nominated to be the deputy of the OMB. Okay, so Neera Tanden would be the head. The deputy was supposed to be probably going to be Shalanda Young. She's on track to be confirmed because Lindsey Graham has taken a liking to her, which means the Republican Party has taken a liking to her. So, you know, you can see here Shalanda Young shines as Tanden's nomination is nixed. All right. So what did Lindsey Graham say? He said, you'll get my support, maybe for both jobs. Everybody who deals with you on our side has nothing but good things to say. You might talk me out of voting for you, but I doubt it. I need to work on my Graham accent. But he seems to take a liking to her, right? A bit more than Neera Tanden's. I'll admit, I haven't watched Shalanda Young's confirmation hearing. There's a lot of them. I watched Neera Tanden's, of course, unfortunately, for my mental well-being. But I haven't watched hers. But nonetheless, I can already tell just from these two, this small quote that, you know, it's a bit better than what Lindsey Graham was doing to Tanden. Because now he's saying straight up, yeah, you have my support, you have our support. He didn't say that to Tanden. So Shalanda Young, in her prior role as staff director for the House Appropriations Committee, Young developed a sterling reputation among lawmakers from both parties as she led negotiations on bipartisan funding deals. In contrast, lawmakers have expressed concern that the harsh comments Tanden made about sitting lawmakers could hinder her ability to work with Congress in enacting Biden's policy priorities. Okay, so they're saying here you have John Kennedy. You remember John Kennedy? He's the one who said to Neera Tanden, you called Senator Sanders everything but an ignorant slut. So that's him, right? He says, you may be more than deputy. I don't expect you to comment on that. What he's saying here, essentially, he's saying that, you know, doesn't look hopeful that Neera Tanden's going to get the job, so you might get her job. Okay. Now, there are also, I saw some other names being floated as well. They've been talking about not just Shalanda Young, but also, you'll have to forgive me, the other war criminals, their names escape me. But I honestly think it's going to be Young because she seems to be okay. And also she was named deputy, right? So regardless, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're being honest. You know, the only difference with Neera Tanden and the others is she has a loud mouth. She was an attack dog and a lap dog. You can use both. But she was an attack dog for Clinton. That's why she had a loud mouth. And, you know, okay, it cost her this. But Joe Biden is openly saying, is openly saying that, yeah, we're going to find another place for her in the administration. So I don't think she's going anywhere because she's, again, a career climber. She's been working her whole life to get into an administration, into a cabinet position. Who knows, man? Maybe she might not get it this time. They might nominate her for something else. You know, let's just wait for Kamala 2024 or some shit, you know? Who knows what the future holds. Jesus Christ, could you imagine if she ran one day? You never fucking know, man. You just don't know. You just don't know. God forbid. But it's good to see her you know, take an L because I don't look. Let's make something clear. I don't like laughing at other people's misfortune. I don't think that's good. Neera Tanden, I think, is an exceptional exception because she's just, I mean, she's a bloodthirsty imperialist. She's just spent her entire career shitting on other people, accusing them of the most outrageous things, you know, working for Russia, of being traitors, of, you know, you name it, she said it. And again, we're not going to feel sorry because she called Ted Cruz a vampire. What concerns me the most is the shit that she said in the CAP email, right? So this was Center for American Progress. She was the president of this liberal think tank. Liberal think tank, that's a nice way to say a corrupt slush fund. So she was taking millions from, big tech companies in Silicon Valley. She was taking millions from a bunch of Arab kingdoms and God knows who else. And doing sit-downs with Netanyahu, right? Netanyahu came and did an interview with her and CAP. So she's as corrupt as they get, right? I mean, she's taking tens of millions of dollars. What more do you need me to say? And this email right here has been overlooked largely by everyone. I mean, this CAP email where she says, should Libya pay us back? We have a giant deficit. They have a lot of oil. Most Americans would choose not to engage in the world because of that deficit. If we want to continue to engage in the world, gestures like having oil-rich countries partially pay us back doesn't seem crazy to me. Well, fuck you, bitch. Kharai alayki. That's what you get. Unfortunately, that's been overlooked, right? They overlooked this. Most Americans would choose not to engage in the world regardless, not just because of the deficit. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, when Americans go and get their legs blown off, again, we're not trying to say here that the Americans are the primary victims. In, you know, Vietnam, they're not. The Vietnamese were the primary victims. In Afghanistan, it's the Afghani people. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that the average American, when they're not brainwashed and you know, forced into the military because they can't have health care or find a good job or there's no, you know, economic opportunities for them, yeah, they would choose not to go and kill other people regardless. Because, you know why, Neera? Because most people are not fucking psychopaths like you. They don't care about bombing and killing other people. That's why you have to brainwash them and teach them to hate other nations and other cultures and other countries. And you just, as she says here, it's just about money, right? It's just that this is her idea of fixing the deficit. I mean, she's criminal through and through, right? I mean, could you imagine if she said this, like, could you imagine if she said, like, yeah, you know, we should do this, like, on a state level, like inside the US, right? We should just go and invade this other state. We should just go murder a bunch of people and steal their shit so we can fix a deficit in our state. She'd go to fucking jail for conspiracy. She'd go to jail for terrorism. But it's okay when you do it in the context of, you know, another country, you know, Libya in this case. But she means it more broadly. She didn't just mean Libya. And she supported not just the intervention. I hate that word intervention. You fucking invaded it and destroyed it, you motherfuckers. There's a slave trade there. You destroyed one of the richest countries in Africa, one of the most prosperous nations in Africa that did not bend the knee to the United States and Britain. So that's what they did. It's not just an intervention. That they like to dilute the terms. She supported that. She supported the one in Syria. I mean, she's a warmonger just like her mentor, Hillary Clinton. So, you know, I'm not going to cry for her. Absolutely not. But don't expect her replacement or anyone else in Joe Biden's administration to be a saint or an angel. They're not. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're working on a cabinet level position in any British or American administration, chances are you're corrupt as fuck, unfortunately. So that's the way it is, man. And, you know, what a shame. I'm so heartbroken over Neera. I'm so heartbroken. What a shame. Oh, I'll be honest. I'm a little surprised. A tiny bit surprised she didn't get it. You know, I told you, actually, if she does get it, it would be because of a Republican. Who knows? You know, they could have maybe gotten Murkowski. I don't know. But you should also think of the advantages that this gives the Biden administration. They can now just go on and keep saying, like, oh, we can't get anything done. Look, even our very own Neera Tanden couldn't get through the Senate. How could we possibly get anything else through the Senate when you have all these meanie Republicans? Right now, it's not Mitch McConnell anymore. No, he's gone. No, now it's just, oh, we have, you know, Joe Manchin, who's such a sexist, and you know, we're not going to actually call him or try to get him to vote our way and, you know, lobby him for anything. But yeah, we can't do anything. Oh no, our hands are tied. Jesus Christ. It's just theater. It's all theater, all of it from start to finish. It's all theater. There you go. So, we got 552 people watching. Awesome. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know, man. Just fucking drone strike it. It helps with the algorithm. You know the thing. I'm going to read your super chats. If you have any questions, shoot. It's a celebration. Should I keep the flashing lights on? Do you like them? Where are the flashing lights? There we go. Goodbye, Neera. Salam, bitch. So let's go, man. Roger says, congrats on your victory. Looking like a rock star, baby. Thank you, Roger. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We're all celebrating together. It's a celebration, bitches. So Yellow Vest America, thank you. It's good to see you. Says she's going to go back to Twitter and torment y'all extra hard for this. Oh, yeah? I await her. I await Neera. Let's get it. Neera Tanden does not block me. I block Neera Tanden. I actually, when I joined Twitter, I think a year ago or something, I didn't understand how it worked. And people kept retweeting her and I didn't want to see her tweets. So I just blocked her because I thought they would get rid of them. And then I kept seeing people taking screenshots. And I was like, wait, this doesn't fucking help. It's just a mess, an awful mess, man. So Louise Brooks says, so few things to be happy about. Thank God Neera is out. The neolibs are insane. Yes, they are. They are. Hold on. Let me just move the flashing lights, man. They're kind of. I want to get them over here. Oh, that's much better. See in the corner like that. Wow, disco baby. So yeah, it is nice to have a little victory. Although once again, she's a swamp creature and she's going to stay in the swamp. You'll see her in some other capacity. Again, ambassador to Libya. It's kind of, it's a dark joke, but no, even that one would require confirmation. Okay. By the way, just think about that for a second, because if you recall, under Trump, this wild conspiracy theory that they came out with in the media that Iran wanted to murder the U.S. ambassador to South Africa. Do you remember that? It's not even a year ago. That's like 9 months ago. Look, I'll pull it up for you. I'll get to my point in a second. Look, here we go. From September, okay? look at this nonsense. So officials, Iran weighing plot to kill U.S. ambassador to South Africa. And look at the best part. This is to avenge the death of Qasem Soleimani. So they're comparing one of the most important people in the entire Middle East, one of their best generals, the head of an elite fighting force, to a fucking handbag designer. No offense to handbag designers. My point here is that those two things have nothing to do with each other. Like not even remotely. Not even remotely. And they were still pushing this crap. And what was her name again? God, her name escapes me. Lana Marks. And my point here is that she had never served in the diplomatic corps. She hadn't been a consul. She hadn't even served, in an embassy, in any diplomatic mission. Nothing. She had just made handbags, and Trump nominated her to become the ambassador to South Africa, meaning she bought her ambassadorship. Yes, that's actually a thing. And so that she got through the Senate, which is actually incredible, right? So, I mean, I think that also speaks to the corruption of the Republicans as well. And just like, look at Betsy DeVos as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, like what makes her qualified exactly? Yeah, we're not surprised here, right? And this is largely what you see in general also. Just like if you look at in the UK, you have Boris Johnson, who's one moment he's like mayor of London, and then all of a sudden he's fit to be the fucking foreign secretary. Like this stumbling, mumbling buffoon, and then you'll have someone who's like a foreign secretary, and then they're the health minister. Just it doesn't matter. It's just a club, So just like Neera Tanden is not going to get the OMB job, they'll find something else for her. They're telling you. Now, most of the other roles, if you look at the NPR tracker. Okay, let's go over the NPR tracker. So fancy. Here we go. So these are the cabinet positions, right? A lot of them have already been filled, or someone's been nominated to fill them, right? So, oh God, Susan Rice, and John Kerry, I want to puke. let's go scroll back to the top for a second, right? So some of them don't need confirmation, but even if they wanted to make her acting advisor or acting director to the OMB, it doesn't work because, as Klain pointed out, isn't that interesting with Ron Klain, the White House chief of staff? When Joy Reid asks him, can you make Neera Tanden the acting director of the OMB? All of a sudden, he knows the law perfectly well. He's like, no, you can't do that. She has to already have been confirmed by the Senate previously and been serving there for 90 days. And then, when he's asked like about the $15 minimum wage and overriding the Senate parliamentarian, I don't know if that's ever been done before, you motherfucker. They're so good, man. They're so good. They really are. They're great. They're so cunning and good at their jobs. Professional liars. So anyway, I went off on a tangent. You'll excuse me, but also not because it's important. So we got 525 people watching, but only 460 likes. Make sure those numbers shoot up. So Wild Bill Cody's Wildlife Preserve. I appreciate the sticker and the support. I'm very grateful. Thanks so much. Tony says, can I get a happy birthday? Fuck Neera Tanden. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tony. And fuck Neera Tanden. I'm going to play crab dances for you.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line. Claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
See, that was wonderful, baby. That was wonderful. Now, y'all wish Tony happy birthday. So we got a couple of tips also on Rockfin that I want to read to you. And if you would like to donate or ask any questions, please feel free to on the PayPal or Venmo, CashApp, whatever is good for you. Thank you for supporting independent media so we don't have to listen to Rachel Maddow. I think that's very, very important. And we need to combat the bastards. So hold on, I'm just trying to pull up the Rockfin ones so you can read them with me, right? Over here, we have one from Emblemed Fate. Thank you so much. Emblemed Fate says, thank you, progressive lefty hero Joe Manchin, for doing what Bernie and the Justice Democrats didn't have the balls to do. This and the silence on Syria is just another example why Bernie is just on team establishment. Follow Malcolm X and his example, not Bernie Sanders. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying, right? That goes without saying. It's frankly incredible that you have Bernie Sanders, who just until a few moments before the nomination was pulled by the White House, he's still saying he still won't say if he's going to support Neera Tanden or not. Dude, she cucked you. She cucked you. She made a fool out of you. She kneecapped you over and over. She made a mockery out of you. You should be slicing and dicing her, right? You should be obliterating her and her nomination. You're the goddamn chairman on the budget committee. What are you doing? Nope. Bernie Sanders and his testicles are firmly in Neera Tanden's grasp, right? He was going to vote for her, but now he doesn't have to. So Anna, thank you for the tip. Anna says, while this feels like a win, I almost feel like she was a sacrificial lamb to throw a narrative. Yeah, I mean, potentially, like I said, this is, they'll still find a place for her, as they're saying, but they can also then just use this as another example of like, oh, we can't get anything done. Oh no, we're poor us. We're so incapable. And Joe Manchin has our hands tied. Just, this one senator, he just keeps throwing all our plans out the window. What a shame. Oh, what a shame. If only we had known this before. If only we had known about the arch nemesis, the Senate parliamentarian. If only we knew about this beforehand. Oh, no. Andrea, thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you guys for watching on Rockfin. Again, you definitely should, because you're going to find not just me, not just yours truly, but a lot of other of your favorite channels, right? If you go on Free Thinking Media, a lot of names that you recognize, okay? So definitely go ahead, make an account. Everyone is here. Look, I see Ron Placone. I see Unauthorized Disclosure. That's me. Graham Elwood is there. I was on Graham Elwood's show yesterday. Convo Couch. Nico. So, you know, lots of your favorite lefties were already on here. Hardlands Media is there. Slow News Daily, right? So you need to get on there, man. I see Jackson as well. Okay, so get over there. Get over there and make a free account. It doesn't cost you anything. And, you know, if you do sign up for $10 a month, you get everyone's premium, right? So look, if I show you once again on the Free Thinking Media, my bad. So if you go on Free Thinking Media, you can see, like, if I click on Jimmy Dore's channel, for example, you got some videos that might be premium, like this one. So to unlock that, you pay $10 a month. But it's not just for Jimmy Dore. Like, you would get that you would unlock everyone's premium, every single channel on here. I think that's a good deal. And, you know, you get to support another platform that's not YouTube, so we don't have to rely just on them. Yeah, it's like Netflix for politics. I think it's pretty cool. So there you go, guys. It's very important that we diversify in a sense, right? That we don't put all our eggs in one basket. We got another super chat over here from Susan. Thank you very, very much. Or Suzanne. I really appreciate the super chat and your support. Just give me 1 second over here, guys. We also got Kathy, who signed up on Patreon. Thank you very much, Kathy. I'm going to play Crab Dance for you shortly. And 1 second, I'll get my phone to load in the meantime. Thank you very much, Kathy. This one is for you.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Hey, why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
I love it whenever we play Crab Dance, you see all of the crabs in the comments, all the crab emojis. You guys know what's up. You guys know what's up. So, all right, guys. Everyone lies in the comments, says, can we just have a permanent Crab Dance segment to play every time something good happens? Yeah, definitely. We could do like an extended, director's cut edition of that. Why not, man? Why not? So look, I think we should definitely do a little. We should do a little Q&A since we're here. You know, we don't want to give Neera Tanden all our goddamn time. God, I hope we don't see her in the swamp though. So hold on, we got another tip on the rock fins. I'm gonna read it to you. So give me 1 second. I'm scrambling with my tabs. Here we go. So thank you so much. Medieval Technocracy says they should make her the new parliamentarian. She could suggest social security cuts. Yeah, that's just gonna fare extremely well. I mean, again, man, the swamp is quite diverse, so you can just put them anywhere you like. It's like I said, you can have like in the UK, you have goddamn foreign secretary who's like the health secretary 2 years before, and then maybe in 5 years they're the fucking prime minister. Yeah, it's just like interchangeable. You know, you don't actually need experience. You just need to be in the right entourage, in the right circle, right? And that's frankly what it is. It's frankly what it is. I mean, these people are so fucking corrupt. I mean, it wasn't Ben Carson, like also the head of urban housing and development, right? What was that? And then he bought like a table that was too expensive. I mean, just what a clown show. What an absolute clown show. And what's funny is like Donald Trump was shitting on them in the Republican primary. Like he made mincemeat out of them and he cucked them so bad, and they come pleading for cabinet positions. They have no respect, these people. They have no respect. Oh God, they're horrendous. Didn't he also call Ted Cruz's wife ugly or something? And then Ted Cruz is like to this day still defending Trump. do you have like no shame? Do you have not 1 ounce of honor? Like what? Where did he put your testicles, Ted? Tell us. Where did he put your testicles? Blink twice if they're in Trump Towers. Oh God, they're so shameful. We have a donation over here from Alexa. Alexa, it's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Thank you so much. It says, missed your last 4 streams, but glad I can make it for this one. Nice sunglasses, by the way. There's a sparkle emoji. I love it. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're so sweet, Alexa. That's really kind of you. Just give me 1 second. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone else's donations on PayPal. If you guys would like to ask something or whatever, just go right ahead. I think I might have read this one before because I can't tell what time it came. It's from Lissy. Lissy says, thanks for the hard work. Thank you. Thank you, Lissy. I really appreciate that very, very much. And I'm grateful for all your support. And Donnie says, Richard doing politics on OnlyFans. I think this format is better. No, I'm not on there, man. I'm not. If you see anyone, they're an imposter, okay? They're an imposter. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that you guys have tuned in. So hold on a second. You guys are talking about Ted Cruz's wife now? No, we're not going to do that. That was just a side comment. Philly, thank you for the super chat. Philly says, I like seeing a happy Richard. Fuck Neera. Yeah, you know, it's good once in a while, man. It's good once in a while to have some tiny little good news. Although again, you never know. You never know when she pops up, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk it that Donald Trump would be the fucking president? Never mind if, you know, Neera Tanden runs for president or something. You don't know what happens, God forbid. And then she will be taking that oil. But honestly, man, it's not like this changes anything fundamentally, right? In the words of Joe Biden. Because even if Neera Tanden is not the head of the OMB, he'll just find a replacement who is similar to Neera Tanden but doesn't bite as much, right? But same policy, it's the same nonsense, right? They're going to screw you over and whatever. I mean, it's astonishing. It's astonishing that people are concerned with the tweets more than the fact that she's corrupt. You know, they asked her during the confirmation hearing, like, okay, this was Bernie, by the way, of all people, right? Bernie Sanders asking, like, you've taken so much money from special interests. You've taken tens of millions of dollars. Are these contributions? They're not contributions. They're fucking bribes. What do you think? You think people give politicians millions of dollars out of the goodness of their heart? They're bribes. They are bribes. He asks Neera Tanden, do you think these bribes are going to influence your decision making in any way as director of the OMB if you're confirmed? No, Senator, they're not going to influence my decision making in any way. Hold on, I think Steph Zamorano, she does a way better impression of Neera Tanden. I can't compete with that one. But she does it way better than me. But like, what kind of a fucking answer is that? She's corrupt. You literally just read out her qualifications and you itemized how corrupt she is, like to the dollar amount, to a specific dollar amount. You've taken X amount of millions of dollars because you're so corrupt. And then you just let her get away with it? No, it's not going to affect me. Okay, next question. So, what? They spend more time on her fucking tweets than they did on the fact that she's taken millions in bribes or that, you know, she's a warmonger. It's unbelievable. And that in of itself is a show. That in of itself is a distraction, because if they can make you focus on the tweets instead of her being a bloodthirsty, you know, standard politician, that's good, because they're all like her. They're all like Neera Tanden deep down. So of course they're not going to call her out for shit that they would do, right? That's it, man. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure that in the worst case, Neera Tanden, she can always find an opening. I'm sure she doesn't even have to go look for it. I'm sure she still has her job as Hillary Clinton's attack dog. So, you know, it'll all work out in the end. No worries right there. These people, they always fail upwards, don't they? Right? It's true. They all fail upwards. They can't get in actual trouble. That doesn't happen for them. They all fail upwards. So, Christ. I'm just reading your comments. I'm just going through your comments over here. So Hudsucker says, dude, so happy and proud you accept crypto. I hoped you would, considering that you're on Rockfin. Yes, that's true. I usually post it in the comments, but I forget to do it in the live chat. There is a Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think is the other one. So I'll post those right away in the the live chat. So here's the Bitcoin if you guys accept crypto or like crypto or whatever, and I appreciate the donations very much. Yellow Vest America says, why did Bernie not call out her corruption? Oh no, he did for 20 seconds, and then he moved on to the next question. Unbelievable, right? I mean, even if she was being confirmed for, who knows, any other position, an ambassadorship, perhaps, or I don't know. Doesn't have to be something necessarily, in her line of work, dealing with lots of money is my point. But, even if she was being confirmed for an ambassadorship, or let's say, Treasury, no, sorry, not Treasury, but Department of Education. I mean, this woman is corrupt. She should be nowhere near a cabinet position. You should distance yourself from her, keep her at beyond arm's length. Should put a goddamn barge pole between Neera Tanden and any cabinet position. She's corrupt. She's not fit to serve in government. But of course, that doesn't matter, right? Because it's so normalized that, you take bribes. And that's what's interesting is that in the same hearing, in Neera Tanden's confirmation hearing, right at the beginning, you have Lindsey Graham, who just, he says, I don't think it's bad that you've taken corporate, contributions, bribes. He's talking about bribes. Because to him, Lindsey Graham thinks that doesn't mean you're bought. Yeah, he just said that shit. And he was like, yeah, that doesn't mean that you're bought. No, it's quite literally the meaning of being bought. Like when you are in government and someone gives you money, that's, it's a fucking bribe. That means you're bought. You're in a position of power. You're in, you have a decision-making seat. What is wrong with you? But it's so normalized that, you can just openly say that in a Senate hearing. Yeah, this is normal. I don't have a problem with it. Anyway, so moving on. You made some mean tweets, didn't you? You're a naughty girl. We can't have that. But taking millions of dollars, that's fine. Wow. And of course, the Libya thing doesn't even come up, right? That doesn't even enter the conversation. That's whatever. So anyway, I wanna move on to some. We have a lot to say about Libya this week, don't we? So I want to move on to another story over here. I don't know if a lot of you picked this up. I don't know if you heard about it, but let's take a look. Let's take a look over here, shall we? So Nicolas Sarkozy, the former French president, right? So he's just been sentenced to jail for corruption, but there's a twist, as there always is. So let's take a look at the article. This is from the BBC. Sarkozy, former French president, sentenced to jail for corruption. He's been sentenced to 3 years in jail, 2 of them suspended already for corruption. He was convicted of trying to bribe a judge in 2014 after he had left office by suggesting he could secure a prestigious job for him in return for information about a separate case. Okay? Sarkozy, who's 66, is the first former French president to get a custodial sentence. Aw, how quaint. His lawyer says he will appeal. Sarkozy will remain free during that process, of course, which could take years. And tomorrow he's even doing an interview on TF1, which is a French channel. So, if you're a former French president, yeah, it's okay that you're corrupt, man. It's all right. First of all, your sentence is slashed before you've even served 1 day of it. And, you can serve it at home. And you don't even have to come in to nothing. Just go home. Go home. Whatever. It's fine. In the ruling, Judge Christine May said the conservative politician knew that what he was doing was wrong, adding that his actions and those of his lawyer had given the public a very bad image of justice. The crimes were specified as influence peddling and violation of professional secrecy. It is a legal landmark for post-war France. The only precedent was the trial of Sarkozy's predecessor, Jacques Chirac, who got a 2-year suspended sentence in 2011 for having arranged bogus jobs at Paris City Hall for allies when he was Paris mayor. Chirac died in 2019. If Sarkozy's appeal is unsuccessful, he could serve a year at home with an electronic tag rather than go to prison. So you see what's going on here? Again, even if he loses the appeal, it doesn't matter because he's just going to be under house arrest. He's not actually going to see the inside of a prison cell. Wow. I mean, that's just... I'm really feeling the justice here, right? C'est vraiment extraordinaire, hein? C'est vraiment bien fait tout ça, c'est bien correct, oui. Donc, Stephen Colbert, I want to show you what he said. Hold on. I'm trying to get this goddamn thing up over here so you can see. All right. So here we go. This is what Stephen Colbert said. He says, there's so much I admire about the French, their sophistication, their cinema, their willingness to prosecute former presidents. Oh, you get it, guys? You see? He's taking a jab at Trump. Orange Cheeto Man bad, right? Wow, so brave. That's amazing. Well done. Muck resistance, let's go. Didn't you just fucking impeach Trump twice? Do you want to do it a third time? You know what? I think we should do it a third time. You guys should go ahead and do it a third time, right? Why fight for the $15 minimum wage? No, just, deal with Neera Tanden. Go impeach Trump like 10 million times because you know he's not going to go to jail anyway. Do shit like that. Don't actually like do your jobs and serve the people. No, let's just waste time. That's resistance. Yay, resistance. And of course, you know what he leaves out? He leaves out the fact that people in France are not fucking idiots. They know that this is all an act. They know Sarkozy is not going to jail, not just because that's what it says in the verdict, but because he's just a former president. He's not going to see any form of justice whatsoever, right? Whether you're a sitting president, former president, doesn't matter. These people live in another political and economic class. Everyone knows that. The difference is that in France, people protest. They have general strikes. They have the yellow vest movement. They actually get shit done. They go out on the fucking streets and they don't settle for the kind of bullshit like this, like fucking tweets and Orange Cheeto Man bad. That's the difference. But of course, he's not going to tell you that part because he doesn't actually admire that part about the French. That part is not really good for neoliberal elites. They don't want you protesting. They don't want you actually going on general strikes because, when you cut their money and the money of their donors, then that's a real problem, right? That's why they don't want you actually to go on general strike. They don't want you to actually do things that would enact change. No, it's much easier to say, look, go and vote for these so-called progressives who, look, they don't take corporate money, but they're still going to get co-opted. So, and same result. Yeah, go and vote for that. Like maybe in 50 years or like 60 years or like when you're dead already, then maybe there will be like a significant margin of progressives in the Democratic Party, and then finally we'll have like a strong voting bloc, in our dreams. Right? But definitely, absolutely don't go on strike, which could get you changes tomorrow morning, which could get you results right now next week. Don't do that because we don't actually want change, right? No. It's really interesting, their logic, right? They tell you straight up, like you'll have you name it, any progressive you want, Bernie Sanders, whatever. They'll come and tell you, yeah, look, all these special interests, they've bought Washington. All these special interests, they control the politicians. It's all about the money, right? Okay, so let's take away the money. Just stop creating the fucking wealth, get them, cause them losses, and that would bring the economy to a standstill, right? You go on a general strike, you're going to cut their money, aren't you? You're going to hurt their pockets, aren't you? That's why Amazon fired Chris Smalls as soon as he started organizing strikes in an Amazon warehouse, right? That's why you have the Taft-Hartley Act to make sure that people don't actually go on strike, because the entire union benefits from the concessions, which sounds good on paper, but it just means like you don't have to go on strike. You can just sit on your ass. No, actually the opposite. You can come to work and sit on your ass and not participate in the strike, and you'll still get all the concessions that end up being negotiated, which is just an incentive to not go on strike, because people are going to be like, why would I risk my job and make my manager mad? I'm just going to go to work and not strike, because obviously even if I don't strike and we do get concessions, I'll still benefit. And then you end up with people who just don't go on strike. You end up with people who don't join unions. Right? So they'll tell you everything except actually hurting the pockets from the bottom on up, right? They'll tell you everything except that. So we're getting a little sidetracked over here, but I need to tell you that because I talked about this with Richard Wolff the other day, Professor Wolff, and we talked about how France has this culture, this mentality of, we have solidarity between workers. We go on strike. On fait grève. Ouais, on fait grève. C'est pas... C'est normal. C'est normal de faire ce genre de truc. Mais pour les Américains, c'est pas normal. Ils n'ont pas cette mentalité dans leur culture. Ça n'existe pas. So going back to Sarkozy, another interesting thing, right? Another interesting thing, because what other accusations is Sarkozy facing? He's due to go on trial next month over the so-called Blumenthal affair, in which he is accused of having overspent in his unsuccessful 2012 campaign. Prosecutors are also investigating claims that Sarkozy received funding for his 2007 campaign from Libya's then leader, Gaddafi. Sarkozy has already been cleared in connection with the Betancourt case. He said all investigations against him were politically motivated. Despite his legal woes, he has remained popular in right-wing circles a year away from another presidential election. So just on that note with Gaddafi, right? It's said, and I'm pretty sure this is real, because Gaddafi's son confirmed it, and I mean, Sarkozy's as corrupt as they get, so why not? He took 50 million. Okay, in 2007. Gaddafi gave Sarkozy, the former French president, 50 million euros. And they were bringing these in like stuffed suitcases. It's just like in the movies, right? And then what happened a few years later? So this motherfucker takes Gaddafi's money, he wins the election, and then 4 years later, he comes and bombs the shit out of Gaddafi. You remember? They made a no-fly zone over Libya. They destroyed Libya. Libya is now in tatters. It has a slave trade. You have a situation where it's just like Iraq kind of spilled over and destroyed the rest of the region, including Syria, and you had terrorists crawling all over the place. The same thing in Libya, right? You have Turkey that's involved there. I mean, flying in mercenaries from northern Syria. You have foreign jihadists coming in, and then they're not just staying in Libya, they're going over into other countries, in neighboring African countries. And you have a whole shadow war going on there, right? And of course, America has their hand in it as well. But I mean, like, it's interesting how they try Sarkozy over like some bullshit in France. Like, yeah, he's corrupt. We're not, là, y a pas de question. What about Libya? What about Libya? All the people whose lives were destroyed there, who were turned into refugees, who were displaced, who were killed. What about that? What about his involvement in that? Nothing? Of course, nothing. Because as we talked about before, these kinds of people, former presidents, they don't see any justice. There's another justice system for them, which includes an electronic tag and a reduced sentence by 66%, by 2/3, and you can spend it at home, right? God forbid Julian Assange is allowed to stay home during his what is he serving again? That's right, nothing. He's not serving a sentence. He's not convicted of anything. He just happens to be in Belmarsh prison because the U.S. wants to lock him up, right? And then, of course, the terrorists like Abu Qatada, these other Al-Qaeda figures who were in the same prison as Julian Assange in Belmarsh prison, they're allowed on house arrest. They're allowed out on house arrest, but not Julian Assange, right? Sarkozy can go and have house arrest in France, but not no one else, right? If you are not privileged enough to be a former French president or a part of their jihadist networks and their little pawns is the word I'm looking for. If you're not actually useful, if you're not a tool or part of their club, you get the regular justice system, which means no justice, right? It's horrendous. It's horrendous. These countries, they colonized half the planet, Britain, France, saying that, they're more civilized and their way of living is better. And white man knows best, all this bullshit. And then, you look at them and they still have massive inequality. There's no such thing as a true, real judiciary. They give special treatment to corrupt sacks of shit like Sarkozy and Tony Blair. This is what we're dealing with, right? And then they have the nerve to go and lecture Arabs and Africans about, nation building and democracy. Go and fuck yourselves. That's it. So Jackson says, fuck Neera Tanden forever. You damn straight. You're damn right. You know it, man. I hope she does. I hope we don't see her in a goddamn, another role, as they're saying. We'll find another place for her. God forbid. Because I mean, I'm getting sick of her. I think I've covered her enough, have I not? She just keeps coming back. She just won't go away. She's a true swamp creature in that regard, isn't she? So, hold on, just give me a second over here. I'm trying to get back into the Rockfin stream. Here we are. We got a tip on Rockfin from Emblemed Fate. I'm going to read it to you. It says, I agree with Stephen that former presidents should be prosecuted, but where was that attitude when Biden and Obama destroyed Libya and where, and we're destroying the Middle East and Africa? Yeah, exactly. I mean, no one is saying, oh yeah, they should just not do anything to Trump. On the contrary, right? But we're saying you're not doing anything. You're not doing near enough. Like they just ignored all of his other crimes and then picked the mildest crap to impeach him over, knowing full well he's not going to face any consequences. And definitely Obama and Biden, what they did to Libya and Syria, in Ukraine as well. These people are merchants of destruction. Sorry, I'll just continue reading your super chat. So Emblem Fate says liberals are hacks. Trump should be prosecuted for Soleimani and Obama Biden for Gaddafi. But I doubt Stephen agrees or cares about that. Exactly. I highly doubt that too. Stephen Colbert, I mean, okay, we have bigger fish to fry than Stephen Colbert, but it just, these late night comedy shows, like, I think a lot of them started out years ago doing some good stuff, but now in the last couple of years with Trump derangement syndrome, it's become more of like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about Orange Cheeto Man. Ha ha ha, look at Trump's tan, instead of talking about the sanctions that he's imposed on Venezuela or these acts of piracy, stealing oil off of Iranian ships and just selling it off. Like, no, they're not going to talk about that shit, like real shit. No. It's just going to be, oh, look what Trump tweeted. Ha ha ha, he's so deranged. No, you are all deranged. You are all deranged. Anyway. Yes, please. Thank you for the super chat. It says, yo, how come you have an American accent but are British? Just curious. Well, I went to international schools. I didn't grow up in the UK. So, and I guess not being in that environment, you kind of lose it. Most people who go to international schools, they all sound like me, I guess. So it's kind of a learned thing. And, even right now, I'm not in the UK. So I've never lived for an extensive period of time in the UK. And I don't know, man. That's the way it is. It's kind of the result of an international upbringing. So I lived in Pakistan, Switzerland, Austria, Syria. I've been in more countries than I can count, and the UK, I never actually lived there for an extended period of time. I did when I was a kid, but just a few months, a year, something like that. So there you go. Although it changes, you code switch. I find myself code switching. Like if I go back to England, if I speak with someone who's British or Australian or New Zealand, or Kiwi, you find yourself code switching. I don't know, man. It's like, you do that in Arabic as well, depending on who you speak. If I speak to a Syrian, I might speak, the same. And then, if I speak to someone who's from, North Africa, Maghreb, it changes a bit. You code switch, and the same thing in French. Right, you have different registers. I don't know. I'm not. I didn't study linguistics, but yeah, I've been told the expression or the phrase, the terminology for it is code switching. There you go. So, Hitch says, I sometimes sound like an Englishman when I have a talk like a pirate thing. Yes, I understand. Marvin says, does the accent help you with women? Which accent? No, it doesn't, man. But the coverage does, right? What's better than anti-imperialist journalism? Nothing, my friend. Nothing at all. So, yes, please says, can you speak different dialects of Arabic? Barely. Me, my native dialect is Syrian, Shami, or people say Levant, which is Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, and you have different dialects in Arabic. You have North African, you have Egyptian, you have Levant, and then you have the Persian Gulf, right? But not in, I'm talking about the Arab kingdoms in the Persian Gulf. So the thing is that when you speak in Syrian dialect or Lebanese dialect, it's extremely close to the Fusha, which is the written form of Arabic, like the correct way of speaking it. Or if you turn on the news in Arabic, if you pick up a newspaper, they'll speak in classical literary Arabic, which is the Fusha. And Syrian dialect is extremely close to that. It's the closest one out of everything. So that's a very good advantage, because I can get away with speaking in a Syrian dialect and most Arabs will understand me, but I won't really understand all of them necessarily. You know what I mean? So it's depending where you go, it can be quite different. But Egyptian, I think it's really cool. I can't really speak it, but I think it's cool. They have different ways of pronouncing the g, the letter G. They say it like a g, which doesn't exist usually in Arabic, but that's how they speak it. It's pretty dope. And most movies, most music, like Egypt is the kind of center of the Arab world's movie and music industry. Although again, you got to give respect to Syria. We do make good stuff. So that's also a dialect that a lot of people try to sing in. A lot of people try to imitate because it's good. And yeah, like if you ask me to speak in a Moroccan dialect, like Maghribi, I just can't do it. No way. I really can't. But yeah, there you go. Okay, we got a super chat over here from QWIXWIP. I'm not sure how to read that, but it says, I just got up today. Somebody had a finger in her. What? I mean, speaking of fingers, Neera Tanden's definitely been given the finger today, and that's the that's a good thing at least, right? That's a good thing at least. So there you go. I'm just trying to go through your comments, man. Donnie says, what has caused your extensive different locations? Well, my parents, man, they used to work for the UN and UN missions, peacekeeping missions, observer missions. You have them all over the world. Not every single country, but I've moved a lot because of my parents' job. So it wasn't really my choice. And you don't really have any UN missions in the United Kingdom. That's one. You have four UN headquarters in the world in terms of the secretariat. So New York, Vienna, Geneva, and then I think the other one is in Nairobi in Kenya. Those are the secretariats, and then you have other peacekeeping and observer missions, and they're scattered all over the world, and that's the reason. So I'm still trying to figure out what that last comment was, but there you go. There you go. Ima says, "Are you critical of UN failures?" Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and there are a lot of them, right? You can look at Rwanda being one of them, one of the biggest ones. But in general, yes, absolutely. I think the UN Security Council is flawed. I mean, who the fuck had this bright idea of giving 5 countries the half of them imperialist powers permanent seats? I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous. America, the United Kingdom, should not have permanent fucking seats on the UN Security Council. This screws the entire institution, right? And what's the point of having UN Security Council resolutions if, on Israel, for example, if Israel doesn't even listen to them? There's no way to actually make Israel listen because you have, the United Nations, the United Nations Security Council being dominated by the United States, by the UK. They should, no country should have permanent vetoing power at all, because that undermines the whole thing. Also, another thing, for example, why the fuck does Israel have member status, but Palestine doesn't? How can you look at that and tell me that's okay? That's also another huge failure. That's bullshit. Like the United, if we're going to base ourselves off of that, then obviously it's ridiculous, because of course Palestine is a country. But some smart ass Zionists say, oh, they don't have member status to the UN. So what? That means they're not a country? Go fuck yourself. You know, so there are huge failures that need to be dealt with, not just historically, but just with the structure of the organization itself. And you have a lot of resources being wasted as well, right? Tons of resources. I mean, there are, you know, you look at all the organs of the UN. Okay, it's nice and dandy, but you could save so much money if some of them were consolidated. You don't need to have that many missions, that many organs who just end up like not even showing anything for it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there are tons of failures, man. Of course, absolutely. Yeah, and Marvin in the comments mentions the IMF is another weapon used to weaken other nations. Exactly. The IMF, the World Bank, these are just imperialist tools, right? They just put countries in handcuffs. You know, it's just a way of basically blackmailing countries into implementing, you know, into meddling with their internal affairs and holding loans out over their heads. I mean, it's imperialism, man. It's bullshit. I think that's also another way that we can talk about the UN's failures. I'm just trying to go through all of your comments over here. Yeah, here's another one. Jeremy says, how the fuck does Saudi Arabia lead the Human Rights Council? Another one. You tell me. You tell me. I have no fucking clue, right? I think they don't anymore. I think it rotated because, you know, you have a rotating seat. I'm not sure, but definitely for the last couple of years they were leading it. And it's you know, again, it speaks to the absurdity of it all, doesn't it? So yeah, of course you have to be critical of the UN. You know, of course. I'm just going through all of your comments. We got a super chat over here from the Michelangelo. Okay, it was all together. The Michelangelo says recommendations of literature before big tech censorship. Okay, I would say The Dirty War on Syria. That's a good one. Hold on a second. Dirty War on Syria. Another good book. Since we're talking about Libya, I should tell you about Libya. Slouching Towards Sirte. That's a good one. Rise and Kill First. That's about Mossad assassinations. That's also another good book. Bergman is the author. Start with those, okay? Start with those. I think those are good. What else? Anything by Richard Wolff, who I had on the show, incidentally. Anything by Dr. Richard Wolff, right? He's a professor of economics. He's been to Harvard, Yale, and Stanford. I don't know anyone more qualified than him, honestly. If you're gonna judge him by you know, his university qualifications, and on top of it, he's a professor of economics. So definitely anything by Dr. Richard Wolff. And yeah, definitely read the first ones, Dirty War in Syria and Slouching Towards Sirte, because, you know, these are, Sirte is up in the north of Libya, right? Near the port. We talked about this, right, a few months ago, because you got one half in the conflict now that are in control of the refineries and the other ones that are in control of the oil fields, right? So, and speaking of big tech censorship, go and sign up on Rockfin, because we need people to sign up on Rockfin. Hold on, let me pull this up for you, right? So again, we were talking about Libya. This is what you want to go read. By Maximilian Forte. And this is about the 2011-2012 intervention, which we all know Sarkozy was a huge fan of, Neera Tanden was a huge fan of, all of them, all the war criminals. And then, of course, you want The Dirty War in Syria. That's also a good one. By Tim Anderson. And I should get him on sometime. I think I have him on Twitter. So that's also a good one you need to go check out. And Rise and Kill First. That's also good. This is about Mossad assassination. So these are good books to start with. And I think in the Discord, which you guys should join, we also have a longer one, which I put in there. So there you go. You guys are also putting a bunch of stuff in the comments, which is great. That's good. Yeah, and of course, anything by Chris Hedges is also excellent. But I think going back to our original topic, I think we should celebrate our good news. Even though we might unfortunately see her resurface in the swamp, I think we should celebrate our good news with Neera being dealt a huge blow today. I think we should celebrate that. That's pretty good for once. So with that said, guys, I'll catch you very soon. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not hit the like button, please hit it. It helps with the algorithm. And if you can, please support independent media. Otherwise, we're going to leave the airwaves to Rachel Maddow. We can't have that. So, and definitely not war criminal Karen Nicole Wallace. So definitely support the show if you can, only if you can, on Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, anything which is more practical or suitable. I'm just going to leave it up on the screen, man. I mean, you already know the thing, okay? You know the thing. And I'm very grateful for all of your comments and everything. We also have a Patreon if you want to sign up on that. And I'll play crab dance for anyone who joins. So I'm just going through your comments in the background. You can't see me, but I'm just going through your comments. So thank you. You guys are really sweet. You guys are really kind. I appreciate it. And there's so much to cover still, but we're going to just make it more regular, the live streams. And that way we'll get through all of it instead of it just in one go. But yeah, there you go. So we got the Patreon, and definitely make an account on Rockfin. At least make a free account. Like, you don't have to do anything else. It's just good to follow on there. It's free. Don't cost you anything. Rockfin.com/RichardMedhurst. And of course, it goes without saying, we have the war criminal merch. I love that it's called the war criminal merch. I think it's such an adequate fitting name. So if you want to get your Uncle Joe's Rainbow Coalition Death Cult, just go to store.richardmedhurst.com. Mona helped me design these. These are wonderful, and you can get them over there, right? And maybe we can find a way to put Neera on like a slipper or something. I think that would be quite fitting. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not going to say no more. I'm just grateful that you tuned in. Thanks for liking, commenting, and interacting, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good, take care, and that was cool. That was cool today. So yeah, be good. Ma salame. Take care.